Hello everyone, in this video we are going to do some applesauce canning, and we're going to make what I call my preferred method, which is basically peeling these. Now, I make chunky applesauce. I don't make the kind anymore that you put through a mill and you grind it up until it's...
Here's some more!
Yeah. I don't make the kind anymore that you put in the mill and just grind it up until it's all like mush. I like the chunky stuff because I like to know that I'm actually eating apples. So, I don't know. That's why I like the chunky stuff. And it kind of reminds me of like eating apple pie. So,
yeah.
What I do is, since I only do this a couple times a year, when you only do something a couple times a year, you tend to kind of forget what you're doing and have to kind of reinvent the wheel every time. So, I made up a guide here just for myself, which I can share with you below. And this is to remind myself of the process. So here, where do we start? Wash the apples. So like I basically wash the apples. This is some apples that we got from a neighbor.
They're super tasty.
Yeah, they're a little bit more like a Granny Smith kind.
But they're real good.
Yeah.
Don't mind the spots. They're not bad.
Yeah, we don't mind the spots. You know, they're not perfect. It doesn't matter.
This one's the best one. Are you sure? Maybe that one is.
We're not trying to win any beauty pageants. We're just trying to make some good tasting applesauce.
Oh yeah, that is really good.
So I wash the apples. I'll prepare the pot and burner. I use this nice big stock pot here.
That is real big.
It's I don't know how many
Gallons?
I don't know how many quarts it is. It's a pretty big one. You can fit a lot of apples in there, which is just what you want. So I got this.
A lot of applesauce.
Yep. So
The more
that's what we're gonna.
applesauce, the better.
Okay, to get this started, I'm gonna add a cup of water and
Daddy, add glass cups, measuring cups to your link.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice.
You mean straight squeeze from the lemon?
Actually, no. And the reason why you don't do straight squeeze from the lemon is because you want something that has a 5% acidity.
Acidity? What's that?
It's 5% acid, whereas each lemon is different. Some lemons might be more acidic than others. So that's why it's best to just use, the stuff from a jar or a bottle like this. Back over here, what's next on our list? Prepare, the next part of this, which of course you're always gonna need if you're dealing with apples, is you're gonna need a drill.
Drill?
With a spade bit.
Spade bit?
Yep, that's this.
Oh.
I'm gonna use a 1/4 inch.
Whoa.
Yep. I guess to some people this might seem weird that you're making applesauce with a drill, but I guess I'll explain it as we get going.
Once you do it.
The other part of the equation is you're gonna need a potato peeler, and this is a potato peeler.
I bet you could use it for carrots too if you really wanted to.
And get out your favorite paring knife. That'll be mine for now. Now I'm gonna go turn the burner on low just to get this started. One more thing that I kind of forgot about is an apple slicer. You don't strictly need one, but we'll try it both ways. We'll try it with that and we'll try it with a chef's knife and see how we like it. So what's our plan here anyways?
Process the apples and make applesauce.
All right, see that? See that?
That's weird. Apple peeling.
First one of the year.
If the peelings are good enough, you can eat them.
All right, see how that worked? There you go. And then, of course, you probably want to eat one.
Even the shavings are real good. I want to try.
We got a little So then what you do, you're gonna take
They're
these.
almost like those peeled apples you can get at McDonald's for a kid's meal dessert.
And then what you're gonna do, toss them in there.
Ooh, that was fun.
Okay, these girls are desperately wanting to see another one, so here we go. There's a little bit of an art to it, as you'll see.
Yum, yum. Cut that.
Here's why you want your paring knife handy. Or, if you've got this handy guy here, you can use that little eye remover thing or whatever that's called.
Eye remover.
And chef's knife is almost easier to use just because you can cut it closer.
You get more apple.
Yeah. Of course, if you got it too close,
You get that.
yeah. And bigger apples, it's easier. You do want to remove these because these do not really cook. These little casing things, and they're kind of hard, and you don't want them in there. Then what I recommend doing is,
Getting out a big bowl.
get a bowl for them. Collect a bunch in the bowl at once.
I just can't help it. I want one. So do I. I'll share it with you. I want the bigger side. Yummy. Those apple peels are good. Maybe we should have these for snacks. Maybe. After dessert.
Now it's okay if you still have some skin on them.
Oh, there's one.
Skin is not bad for you. It's
Actually,
really-
it might be really good for you.
It is good for you. So yeah.
So we're eating, snacking on good stuff.
So don't stress if there's still some skin on it.
Any bad spots will boil down, I bet. Share it. Look at how long this one is. This stuff is so good. It's almost like eating fruit snacks, or yeah, it's almost like having fruit leather. Where are your vacuum cleaner? We're the ones who keep your workboard from getting all messy.
That's true.
There.
Make sure your knife is good and sharp.
It would be good to have a dull knife.
It makes it a lot easier. And honestly, that's all that you need to really cut them into because they'll cook down. A little slower is easier.
But it's not cooked quite as fast.
If you have larger apples, this is actually a lot easier. Now, one thing you can do too is you can get a block of wood to set up on here. I don't have a block of wood.
A clean block of wood. Not like
Yeah.
you could use an apple.
I don't really see anything that I can use.
Yummier than
No.
frozen grapes.
Now, once you've gotten a collection here, and they're starting to turn brown, so you're going to want to get them into the pot as fast as you can, probably. Put that in there. I'm going to start turning this up a little bit. So get these kind of mixed in with the lemon juice water there. It's already smelling good. But we got a lot more to do. I'm gonna put the lid on there while I do more.
I was gonna smell.
Let's take these over to the pot.
I want to smell. That smells like applesauce. Even though we have chocolate.
So here I zipped a bunch of them. I put a bunch of peels in the container there. And now I'll slice the whole bunch up at once. This is why I tend to favor using the chef's knife versus the apple corer peeler, because as you can see, you can get a little bit more of the apple by cutting it with the chef's knife. Let's take a look. Okay, this is cooking down pretty good here. The ones that have been in there the longest are really mushy and turning brown.
Yeah, they're the mushiest.
Alright, so we got some pretty good looking applesauce, I think. Nice and chunky. I want to stir this real good so it doesn't burn on the bottom. I added a little bit of water because it looked like it was getting a little low. Another technique you can do is take a potato masher, mash these down if these are still kind of large chunks. It's looking pretty good. This is a 5-gallon bucket of apples. And it's filled up now my pot to about half here. I've also added, over the course of this, I've added about 3 cups of water from beginning to end. All right, I turned the heat down, and here's kind of what we're looking at now. I've added over the course of this probably 2 more cups of water. Every time I add a cup of water, I'll add a tablespoon of lemon juice also to kind of keep it balanced there. So I've got probably about 3 total cups of water that I added. So now is kind of my favorite part. I'm going to add some spices here, specifically cinnamon. I'm going to add a lot of cinnamon. I don't add too much sugar. So this is kind of what I do in place of sugar. And then I'm going to add some allspice. Do about half a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Nutmeg's a little bit more powerful, so you don't need to add too much of that. Next up, half a teaspoon of ginger. And this should be probably a pretty well balanced mix here. Mix that up real good. Kind of tempted to add a little bit of brown sugar, but I'll probably do a taste test here. Let's see. It's pretty good. I am gonna add, this is probably not even a whole quarter of a cup of brown sugar. Give that a little taste. Pretty good. Here's sort of the final product, so to speak, before we put it in the jars. I mean, it's basically, when you open this up, it's gonna taste like apple pie in a jar. I mean, not quite as sweet, but it'll have the same sort of flavor as like apple pie. You know, if you want to, you could maybe even put this in an apple pie, add some sugar. Or I've got a little treat that I like to make, sort of like an apple pie in a cup kind of thing, that I'll do with this sometimes. Next up, you can totally can this. You can freeze it. I recommend canning it in a steam canner. which I've got getting ready to use right over here, which works great. It takes like half the time as a regular canner. But yeah, these are nice, chunky, kind of solid pieces here. Gives you something to bite in and really kind of gives you a taste of fresh apples in the middle of the winter. By cooking it continuously like this while you're adding apples, that's how you get the sections where it's more like a sauce, and that's how you get the chunks in there that are more solid, and that way you can kind of get a mixture between the two. The other alternative is that you can just fill the whole pot with apples and then kind of cook them down all at once, and then it'll be a uniform texture. But if you like it kind of like this, where you've got both, you've got chunks and you've got the sauce, this is a great way to do it, and real easy. So hope this gave you some ideas. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe so you will be alerted the next time we post another video. Also, if you don't mind, please hit the like button, just so YouTube will know that people like you may enjoy this video. I would really appreciate that. Have a great day, everyone.